Hey guys, Bear in the Big Blue House here, and today we're going to be taking a closer look into Ziggs and his skins. Ziggs is a manic explosives expert that has a smile that can steal your heart. Packed with AoE abilities, he's a force to be reckoned with. As usual, let's start with his base skin. The base skin. The first thing you might notice actually is his giant aligned smile. If you've ever seen Alice in Wonderland, you might even be reminded of the Cheshire Cat. I'm quite surprised we didn't get a little collaboration between Annie's Annie in Wonderland splash and Ziggs. Now in the background, we see Bandle City, which is home of the Yordles, and it's also at night. But also take a look at his ear. It's pierced, which leads me to believe he's portrayed as a bit of a rebel. And notice he's tossing bombs in a forest, toppling trees and stuff. Now, when I said he seems like a bit of a rebel, I found a picture from Ziggs and Jinx Paint the Town. That kind of reinforced the rebelliousness of Ziggs. In this image, it's portraying Ziggs along with Jinx setting Piltover on fire. How could a Yordle live in Piltover and not get caught, you might ask? Well, if you look closely when loading into Summoner's Rift or even ARAM, one of the trivia messages says, because of their glamour, the true form of Yordles is hard for most to truly perceive. Now if you refer to the comic that I was just speaking about, Ziggs and Jinx Paint the Town, we actually see Heimerdinger and Ziggs, and they both appear to look like little humans. I won't dig deeper into the lore, but it ends with a small quote. And that quote reads, "Our story starts in a small pyrotechnics shop in Piltover, run by two unnervingly fuzzy gentlemen." Mad Scientist Ziggs. This is a great Ziggs skin. It's actually only shared between him and Singed. First thing I noticed right off the bat is it's a reference to crazed scientists, the villains of cartoons or old movies. So think, Victor Frankenstein's, Paul Carruthers of the 1940s film The Devil Bat. Lots of experiments going on here. He seems to have a flask of some kind of green liquid in his left hand, which if we look at the skin itself in game, it seems to be what he mainly throws, with his minefield and bouncing bomb. So we can go ahead and assume this liquid is very volatile. We can see a brain in a vat of pink liquid in the back. Now I'm not sure what to make of this because it's hard to link a brain to a person alone, but we can assume since he's always admired Heimerdinger that in this timeline, where he's a mad scientist, it's Heimerdinger's brain. I like to think he's extracting the knowledge Heimer has to create these formulas we see all around in this lab. We also do see a explosives bomb in the background there. Maybe he's creating this fluid to put inside the bombs. Whatever it is up to you on what you think he's doing here. Major Ziggs. This is a nice skin. We're seeing his big old smile here again. But take a look a little further up from that. His eyes seem to have some contraption. A lens over another lens. I couldn't find out what this was for, but we do see an insignia on his helmet. And we do know this skin is referencing a grenadier of the Napoleonic times. Now, I think this insignia is from Bandle City, and I have a good theory behind this. Take a look into the distance towards the explosions. Do you see it? A few figures that look like Kled. And it's going to either be Kled himself, or what I think is the mounted Yordle cavalry. There seems to be barbed wire as well to stop any mounted units from pressing forward. Hey, look at the coat Ziggs is wearing. Lots of medals. He's definitely established, without a doubt. Which brings my theory to full circle. Master Arcanist Ziggs. This skin is gorgeous. This is what Ziggs would look like realistically on the Rift. We see him donning the smile, of course. We also see he's wearing Rabadon's death cap, with Zonya's hourglass in the foreground. Now, he needs to be writing something in a book that's slow burning. Since there's so many items, we can assume this is maybe a fiendish codex or an amplifying tome. He also seems to be in some sort of wizard tower or cathedral. I feel like this skin is playing off popular wizardry, so think Harry Potter or even Doctor Strange, with the use of artifact magic. Another interesting point is when he uses his satchel charge, it's actually a wizard bag, with Abyssal Scepter, Rylai's Crystal Scepter, and even Void Staff in it. This is one of my favorite splash arts in the game. So much play on the items. Love it. Pool Party Ziggs. We all love the Pool Party line. Such a chill and playful line of skins. Now looking at this one specifically, we see Ziggs taking a plunge into the pool, geared up with water wings, snorkels, flippers, and a waist duck and a big old fat balloon on his back. Now, looking at who else is here is actually pretty fun. We see Darius, Katarina, and Garen all in the foreground with some really great detail to the face. Now looking further up, we see Redacting on duty in his lifeguard skin. And in the background is where it gets interesting. We got Ari, Leona, Diana, and Riven soaking up the sun. And something a lot of other people don't see in this is if you look to the bottom right, you see Xin Zhao wielding an umbrella. And Yorick, the pool cleaner. Really wish that that would have been the new Yorick skin. Overall, really playful skin. Love it. Snow Day Ziggs. Snow Day Ziggs is a pretty sweet skin. It's also shared between quite a few other champions. He's all bundled up, rocking snowboarding goggles. The snow bombs he's throwing looks a lot like Snowbirdinger's head, but I may be reaching on that one. This is a pretty basic splash art, so there's not much to pick at. But the in-game model has a pretty cool animation. When he recalls, he builds a snowman. So happens that snowman's head is upside down. Like I said, not much to pick at here, so let's move on. Battle Boss Ziggs. The skin all the Ziggs mains are probably waiting for. This is one of the best skins ever released for Ziggs. The giant size and the digital face with the pixel styled bombs are just so reminiscent of the early 16-bit games. Now, the fun part is looking at what's going on all around in this arcade, because there's a lot to pick at. Top right, we actually see an Arcade Ezreal poster, but he doesn't exactly look like Arcade Ezreal that much. But you kind of look at him and you kind of go, yeah, that is Arcade Ezreal. And below that, we see a Blitzcrank Claw Machine game. Next to that, a Sona Dance Dance Revolution game too. Come to the other side and we see what appears to be a Malzahar cabinet. But since it's toppled, it's hard to tell what sort of game it is. And lastly, we see Ari playing a platforming game based on Brand. Beautiful splash art here. Beautiful, I love it. Probably one of the best ones. Thank you so much for sticking through the video. You're the best. If you really enjoyed the video and want to see more, drop a sub, drop a comment, let me know what you want to see next. And as usual, have a good time on the Rift.